Hello, everybody. I am Isago, and I'm the company CEO of LINE's AI company. I'm responsible for LINE's entire AI, not only the business, but also R&D. Together with Mr. Etoh, who is our technical advisory, I will be presenting the session entitled LINE's AI Products, the Future and Beyond. This will be about LINE's future activities in the area of AI, including demo videos of some technology projects we are currently working on, as well as sharing with you our vision which shapes the direction of our R&D. I hope you will enjoy the next 40 minutes. For those of you who are viewing the sessions in real time, is it the first? So I actually presented in the day one keynote last year and introduced some of LINE's AI technologies. Maybe some of you remember the demo where we outputted the results in a plotter using handwritten font automatically generated by AI. Today, we will present more detailed aspects of our AI activities. The first LINE product utilizing AI technology was Clover Wave, a smart speaker launched in 2017. This was the first Japanese language product which came into the market even earlier than Alexa and Google Home. After that, we released Clover Friends, which look like LINE characters. At the same time, we were working on R&D on technologies needed for voice dialogue, such as voice recognition, voice synthesis, and natural language processing. From 2019, we started a business offering LINE's AI technology to external customers. So voice recognition, speech synthesis, and dialogue technologies are combined with AI call to enable automatic phone answering. In collaboration with Etoh, which has a restaurant reservation ledger, restaurant reservations have actually begun at stores. As announced the other day, at Yamato Transport, LINE AI Call has begun to take charge of collection reception work from companies in some areas of Japan. And Yamato plans to gradually expand this. In the business, AI Byte AI does automatic acceptance of part-time job recruitment. So the information is a response by JSON API, and engineer and researchers can actually think about solutions to have an end-to-end model. And OCR and face recognition is combined in eKYC. And that is made generalized. And by combining that with a LINE official account, we are trying to offer a smooth user experience. So LINE is not only doing research for research, but we try to improve the people's life. For example, in the courier service, the accuracy to read in the address is the big problem. And we have done many tasks in order to improve the accuracy. And fortunately, Yamato has lots of learning data because lots of calls come in. And these technologies are already in practical stage and are offered to the outside. And some technologies, such as OCR, can be used in the demo environment from Clover site. This is a session to talk about the future of AI products and beyond. So I would like to introduce some projects that are currently in the research and development stage. So please see this video. Hello. This is the 77 session of LINE Live by Ryogo Matsumaru. Shi-chan, thank you for the teddy bear. And thank you, Mei-chan. I cut my hair. So it's been 2 weeks since we did the free of charge LINE Live. Thank you for the teddy bear. And so there has been a comment saying that I hope that the power does not go down. And congratulations for coming in 6th place in the trend. Maybe Japanese people may recognize Mr. Ryogo Matsumaru. And I'm sure that those who understand Japanese can see that the AI can properly recognize his fast-paced casual talks. And through this is used, voice recognition is used in Clover, Smart Speaker, and Line Call. We have been making continuous efforts to improve the accuracy of voice recognition. This video shows voice-recognized subtitles attached real-time to the video, which was streamed on Line Live. And you may wonder what is the point of having Japanese captions, which is your mother tongue, but it will be very useful if we combine this with machine translation. Please see the next video. I'm Mick Etoh. The Line Live started. This is the 26th of August. So it's been quite a long time. The voice recognition is very hard in this video because there's music in the background. But the AI was able to pick up just the speech. So next is a prototype video utilizing these technologies. So, wow, backpacking on your first trip, that is amazing. Yes, I was really aspiring to become a backpacker. Weren't you worried? But I was traveling with friends. So, but it's quite far away. It took me 24 hours to get there. Is that far from Athens? So we traveled around Bangkok and Ayutthaya and then headed north. It's exactly the same. I went to Bangkok and Ayutthaya because I really wanted to be a backpacker. So this conference is held online, so I believe the audience is viewing this session through video streaming. When you work at home, I'm sure you use systems like Zoom. So this tool is a prototype that experimentally added voice recognition as a Zoom plugin. The conversations between the 4 people are recognized almost perfectly. I'm sorry for non-Japanese speaking people, but I hope that you can imagine. Furthermore, in the actual business scene, although it is not necessary to be in real time, I think there is a need to transcribe the minutes with high accuracy by batch processing. Currently, the voice recognition method called end-speech that we are using has been used since the days of smart speakers. And it is a method and implementation suitable for recognizing short utterances in real time. And minutes taking, and it can recognize really free speech with high accuracy. And we are currently developing a model for that called Nest. However, we couldn't make it time for today's Dev Day, but we will be implementing this in our service in the near future. So we are conducting research and development not only on voice recognition, but also on the recognition of sound. The purpose of this research is to correctly recognize the barking of dogs and the sound of broken glass in the area of environmental sound recognition. Among them, a competition called DCASE is passionately held among signal processing researchers, and Mr. Komatsu line researchers and intern students from Nagoya University put up a team to win first place in 4 categories using weak label learning method. In line, it is important to be number 1 in research results, and it is required to continue to take on challenges. So we also share a prototype under development in the field of speech synthesis. Please watch this video. Hello, this is putting real AI voice called Clover dubbing. So entering so you can choose your own voice and then attach that to the video. Hello. This is how you use Clover dubbing. So enter what you want the voice to say, and the sound effect. Hello. And just download the file. Real AI voice attachment through Clover dubbing. So this was Naomi and Tomoko from Clover Voice. This tool is called Clover dubbing, a mechanism for adding text-to-speech, voice-to-videos. The narration of this video itself is also created using the voice synthesis models Naomi and Tomoko. In speech synthesis technology, research is aimed at more natural utterances. In addition, as related technologies, we are trying to add avatar expressions. One of the goals of our speech synthesis technology is not only to read out sentences correctly, but also to be able to express emotions. By combining avatars that can change its expression according to the speech, I think we can support communications more effectively. Avatars have already been implemented in LINE's messaging app, but at the moment, the deformed 3D avatar characters only move. If this avatar can also speak, and if it can speak with voice synthesis that is close to your own voice, the future may be rather interesting. We cannot promise that this will be in the LINE app, but I hope you understand that we are aiming to realize a conversation experience through avatar with our own technologies. So if AI can communicate, AI might be able to communicate on behalf of humans in the future. I hope you enjoyed our demos. Although some of the technologies you have seen so far have not yet been commercialized, we have already started R&D. So we look forward to the day when we provide AI technology to the outside and implement in LINE service. And also, we are preparing to offer some of the technologies with high level of completeness from LINE developer site, LINE developers. From here, I would like to hand over the stage to Mr. Etoh, who is the technical advisory of the AI company and data labs. Mr. Etoh will share with you our R&D vision. Etoh-san, you have the floor. Thank you, Isago-san, for the introduction. I'm Etoh, Technology Advisory of LINE AI Company and Data Labs. And I will speak about LINE's R&D. My day job is a faculty member at Osaka University. And as a second job, I am trying to promote industry-academia collaboration with LINE. I like being involved in technology that changes the world. While I was in charge of R&D planning and investment in my previous job, I started projects for data mining and digital transformation. I also started companies called Mirai Translation and Kotoba Design. So I will introduce the R&D vision that shows the direction of LINE's research and development over the next 3 to 5 years. So what is R&D vision? It is a vision that shows the purpose and goals of research and development. NAVER and LINE R&D are integrated. In light of the present and future of the business that NAVER and LINE are engaged in, what will happen in the future and what kind of change will happen? We made a prediction from 2 angles, technology and society. How should an R&D vision be created? We create it by predicting the points of change that will occur in the future and clarifying the purpose and goals of research and development. The approach we have taken is to have leading researchers, engineers, and marketing experts in the field predict the future change points, and multiple editors put them together as a trend into a scenario. This summer, we solicited opinions from 200 AI-related people from LINE and NAVER. The question was, what will be the changes in technology and society over the next 3 years, and what kind of services will happen? 5 editors selected from LINE and NAVER then organized these into future scenarios. When asked what the trends surrounding the AI business environment are, we received nearly 300 responses. There were various ideas and some were quite surprising, such as automated kitchens, virtualized space interfaces, snuggling robots, future distribution, and more. The following 4 trends in the near future were compiled by 5 editors from the nearly 300 proposals. So these are the 4 topics. Digital me, generative intelligence, trustworthy AI, and dark data. The umbrella topic means the technical concept that abstracts individual future predictions. So I will explain one by one. Digital me is to create your own digital clone in the virtual space. Creating your own digital twin is the key of future innovation. By using personal data in virtual space, it is possible to provide personalized services. Generative intelligence sets out the evolutionary direction of AI applications. There is a technology called generative AI in a narrow definition. It automatically generates new content from existing content of images, sounds, and text. Generative intelligence includes not only the automatic generation of content, but also the interaction of AI recognition results due to the development of deep learning. So this is a concept that involves associating different contents. Next is trustworthy AI. This means that as AI developers, we must create reliable AI. With the evolution of AI, in the future it will be necessary to resolve issues such as privacy and data governance, improvement of accountability and convincibility of results, and ensuring fairness. Furthermore, regarding the data itself, it is necessary to deal with problems related to reliability and credibility, such as distribution of fake information and data falsification. Finally, dark data. Huge amount of big data that has not been used before will be used. Now, the forefront of deep learning research is about learning with no teacher data. Alternatively, even if there is teacher data, we need to develop learning technologies that use teacher data that is small in quantity and contains mistakes. So these are the 4 concepts: digital me, generative intelligence, trustworthy AI, and dark data. And these are the topics that LINE and NAVER will be working on. The 4 umbrella topics mentioned earlier are we have mapped this into this axis. So these 4 topics are the technical concept that needs focus, and each of these are supported by the various topics that were proposed. This figure summarizes the relationship between new services and events that may appear in the relevant business fields over the next 3 to 5 years, and the 4 umbrella topics, regardless of whether LINE will directly commercialize them or not. As you can see in this figure, digital me and trustworthy AI seem to be the direction of research and development to meet social demands, and generative intelligence and dark data seem to be the direction of research and development to further evolve society. And these 4, of course, are interrelated. The instances that form the 4 umbrella topics are important. They represent the services of the future. I would like to explain everything comprehensively if I had the time. But in this presentation, I will introduce only about half of them. So first is digital me. As mentioned earlier, digital me represents the technological concept of digitally expressing and using ourselves. What happens when our digital clone is placed in the virtual space? Here are 2 possible near-future services, and I will present them in the next slide. One embodiment of digital me is digital identity. KYC is an abbreviation of Know Your Customer, which means customer authentication when translated literally into Japanese. Services that use AI to authenticate individuals on a secure digital processing platform that protects privacy will be important in the future. Identity verification is now being done at the counter with facial recognition and paper certificates. The digital certificate of My Number card is beginning to be used in some areas, but it has not yet penetrated fully. From now on, biometrics such as fingerprint, iris, veins, and voice prints will be added as device hardware evolves. In addition, if the IDs in the real and virtual worlds are integrated and the activity log is acquired, unauthorized use can be identified from the difference from the usual behavior. It also makes it easier to verify your identity more accurately. We want to create an anchor point that makes it easier for people to use digital systems. That way, we can see a world where smart city services, travel applications, e-government certification, financial services, e-commerce become safer and easier to use.
The second example of digital me is better care. Imagine this as being the next step in LINE healthcare. This case is related to the digital ID I mentioned earlier. Collect live data from wearable devices, collate them with medical records, and record more personal health data in reliable system for deep analysis. We believe that better health management is achieved by connecting data digitally. In the future, new medical treatments that prevent and treat diseases by considering individual differences in genetic information, living environment, and lifestyle will be possible. This will also enable online medical services. I would like to introduce the second umbrella topic, generative intelligence. Later, I will explain a big technical concept called dark data, but along with it, automatically generating different types of new content from existing contents such as speech and images, and integrating different contents with each other is the trend we are seeing. The latter is called grounding in AI community, which is the essence of AI research that links signals and symbols. We have decided to call this technical concept generative intelligence. The first example of generative intelligence is autonomous AI workforce. By integrating multiple sources that previously had a single function, AI will be able to achieve multiple functions at the same time. That is autonomous AI workforce. So far, LINE has realized automatic telephone answering by combining speech recognition, speech synthesis, and dialogue technology. But please imagine how this will evolve. AI will be used in wide range of work such as field support integrated with image recognition, marketing, ordering, and automation of meeting minutes. There will be a shift from simple tasks to complex tasks, and from individual automation to vertically integrated automation to replace existing workflows. LINE wants to contribute to that. The second topic of generative intelligence is dependable speech recognition, which is positioned as an important emerging technology. Mr. Isago talked about NEST earlier, and we will evolve this further. Speech recognition has evolved dramatically over the last decade. Dependable means trustworthy and reliable. It means that speech recognition can be raised to a level that can be on par with humans. LINE uses its own speech recognition technology for the call center solution, and we plan to improve its performance and expand it to other fields. The challenges of speech recognition today are resistance to environmental noise and the handling of unknown proper nouns. So how are we going to deal with them? One way is to solve them is using weak supervised learning that improves the speech recognition rate even if training data includes errors. We will use this method to reduce the cost of creating training data, and the language model will be customized automatically for each task to handle data. Then the language model will be customized automatically for each task. Furthermore, unsupervised learning will be performed to account for noise. LINE will improve recognition rate by an order of magnitude and integrate all of these to recognize world's #1 speech recognition. So please look forward to that. The third topic of generative intelligence is new educational services. With the COVID-19 pandemic, online learning has become normal. This is a good opportunity to review educational contents. By understanding the behavior of learners, digitalizing educational contents and methods, and modeling AI, we can realize learning that is different from conventional online learning. It will create an adaptive learning model according to the situation of each student. AI will automatically generate learning contents. In language education, AI will automatically check pronunciation and vocabulary of each student. LINE will realize an educational service that leaves no one behind. The fourth topic of generative intelligence is contents that change storyline through interaction. These contents can be considered as an extension of the educational system mentioned earlier. Seeing the history of Japan's Edo period as a story in history education, students can be asked whether Japan will continue to be ruled by shogun or the emperor, and students can answer by comparing two scenarios. The negative side of automatic content generation using AI will be fake news and fake videos, but its positive side is that a movie that changes its scenario according to the viewer's reactions, like game. Going forward, the boundary between movies and games will disappear, and the boundary with educational content will also disappear. That's what we expect in the future. The next umbrella topic is trustworthy AI. The technology concept is AI that is explainable, fair, reliable, and safe. What I want to emphasize is that the free use of technology, the protection of public safety, and the protection of personal privacy conflict with each other. Surveillance cameras improve public safety, but they may jeopardize the privacy. Self-driving cars using latest technology are convenient, but they may jeopardize public safety. The term off-haven, a concept advocated by German philosopher Hegel, is in his dialectic method is used here. It means that it is difficult to overcome the conflicting demands of freedom, public, and individual. Technological development must satisfy all three parties at a high level. Legislation like the European GDPR is also important. Trustworthy AI needs to be promoted along with such laws and regulations. The first example of trustworthy AI is privacy preserving. There is also a technology for data mining while protecting privacy. One example is encryption-based service that analyzes data while it is encrypted on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side is another example. That's federated learning, in which data is processed independently on different devices and servers. without centralizing data in one place, and only the learning results are brought together to form a large learning model. These technologies are indispensable for handling personal data and dark data. We want you to know that LINE and NAVER are working on this technology. The last umbrella topic. Excuse me. There are many topics in trustworthy AI. One of the pillars is achieving both privacy protection and convenience. I would like to introduce just one more thing. That is about fairness of AI. AI developers create model from data and evaluate it when we try to use it. Two perspectives are important. One is how much statistical bias there is. The sampling bias is a problem where elements of the population are not sampled equally. Recent examples of sampling bias includes, for example, the number of positive COVID-19 tests where the sampling was conducted in Shinjuku at night, or the voter survey that could not predict that President Trump would fare well. Another point of view of model evaluation is what is mathematically fair in modeling may not be fair from a social and ethical point of view. A simple example would be to change the premium rate by race. It is socially unacceptable for insurance premiums to change due to origins that you cannot control. We need to develop technology to evaluate whether the model is statistically correct and whether it is socially acceptable. And LINE is working on this with NAVER. The final umbrella topic is dark data. The term big data has been used for the last 10 years, but it is said that we still use less than 10% of available data. Why is that? The paradigm of machine learning has been supervised learning. It was difficult to generate value from data without training data. Training data is provided by humans, and the cost tends to be enormous. AI research and development is progressing rapidly, and this is because of the development of unsupervised learning, with which we will start to effectively utilize big data that we were not able to utilize until now. What happens on dark data? Unsupervised learning allows us to create huge statistical models. OpenAI, an AI company based in San Francisco, has developed a huge autoregressive language model with 175 billion parameters called GPT-3, which was announced in May this year. GPT, so I will talk about this language model. So imagine that there's a task called Q&A that answers questions. Since the knowledge of QA is different for each task, the approach on the left was used. A model is generated for each task and executed the Q&A task. However, with huge dark data available, a huge generic model for common sense can be generated. By adding knowledge required for each task as an addition to that model and specializing it, you can create a Q&A service that integrates common sense with specialized knowledge. We believe that the huge language model will change the concept of conventional databases. Together with NAVER, we are now collecting over 10 billion pages of web data using many parallel GPUs and creating a model equivalent to GPT-3. This is the first time we announced this. We are trying to make a huge language model equivalent to GPT-3, but in a few years, it will be equivalent to a larger gptx. As mentioned earlier, this gptx will change the concept of databases. By creating a huge statistical model using not only words written and read by humans, but also IoT data, including images and other sensory data, and personalizing for individuals, it can be applied to personalized medical, financial, and educational services. the digital me and generative intelligence service use cases mentioned at the beginning will be connected in the future. The future gptx framework will include company operational data, including sensory data, as well as large language models, including company rules and manuals and legal documents. By preparing knowledge that is public and common amongst companies, a generic model, and adding dark data for each company, we can create a living dictionary for that company. By combining general knowledge about general business and with company-specific knowledge, we can produce the knowledge of veteran employees. This sounds like a dream, but this may be real. This is the last slide on the topic. As models are created using dark data, an exchange market will be emerged. The technical issue will be protection of personal and corporation information and the technology for connecting models. Trustworthy AI will become important. By combining the know-how of company A and company B, we can generate the data of to make a A plus B model. And there's already a platform called incremental learning. Dark data's technical concept accelerates this. It can generate value without labeled data. We predict that this service frees us from the work of annotation and will realize a world where knowledge of individuals and companies will be traded in the market. Over the last decade, deep learning has brought about tremendous innovation every 2 or 3 years. It was about 10 years ago that speech recognition became available. And about 6 years ago, image recognition exceeded the ability of a human eye. And about 3 years ago, machine translation began to exceed human ability. What we are witnessing is the evolution of deep learning, especially in unsupervised learning. This is leveraging dark data to change the concept of databases. Until now, in the world of computer science, research was only for research and it was separated from business. But now, new technology is being commercialized in 1 or 2 years. In other words, research creates business in today's world. We are in an era of developing technology and business at the same time. LINE is not just a service planning company. It is also a company that transforms the world with its research and technology contributing to business. The new services presented in the R&D Vision are prediction of events that will happen in the next 3 to 5 years, regardless of whether they will be commercialized. Having said that, they include services that we have already we have stated will engage at LINE. We hope that you understand that 4 technical concepts explained today: digital me, generative intelligence, trustworthy AI, and dark data. I also mentioned that we are working on building a language model equivalent to or larger than GPT-3. So I hope that we can develop together with you. Thank you very much, Etoh-san. So in the first half, I explained about the technologies that we have already started research and development for and that are already being commercialized with demo. In the second half, Etoh-san explained medium to long-term research themes for the next 3 to 5 years. After hearing these, I am sure that you now understand the direction of AI technology at LINE. We end this session here. If you are interested, please also watch other AI sessions that are coming up. So each technological element will be explained further in detail. This concludes LINE's AI products, the future and beyond. Thank you very much for watching.